Let's go fishing. This is part 4 of a 4-part series where I went fishing while visiting Sandusky, Ohio with my family. A small part of part 4 here is capturing the second day, but the rest of it will be the third and final day. Casting in the same area as previous videos, and what do you know, fish on. Much like the last few fish, I could tell that this was maybe a white perch just from the way it was fighting. And while back in Virginia, the perch don't do much of a takedown, they were very aggressive here. So you know me, sped up the clip because I just kept reeling and reeling, getting this fish closer to the bank. No net needed even if I had one, but you know I didn't. Definitely stoked to keep catching. Another small white perch. And of course some scenic views behind it. So I cast it back out to see what else we could pull in. I even started putting rocks on the end of the rods just in case it was a big fish and I didn't lose the rods since they were rental rods. And for the first time on this trip, one of the other rental rods had a small takedown. So I picked it up and began reeling. So glad TikTok lets me speed up clips because I cast it out super far and reeling takes forever. I could see I had another small white perch, so we wanted to get him up, get a picture and a video. Definitely stoked to keep catching. And once I got the line back out there, my other rod started to go off. But much like some of my other catches, I had a takedown, but also some weird movements in the line. So while I didn't catch the initial takedown, I decided to check the bait and reel anyway. And what do you know, I had a fish on. Another freshwater drum. These fish fight great. Also about here is day 3 of the final day of the trip, so I decided to put all 3 lines out in the water. Each of them all had the same rig, so I knew something had to happen. Now, I'm not used to fishing with multiple lines, so it was definitely a challenge. As you can see here, I hooked up on a fish and didn't really know how to navigate getting around the other rods. But I tried my best, but it proved not to be enough. Because I saw it was a catfish, and once I got it closer to the bank, I ended up losing it. All because I wanted to bank flip it around the other lines. Some call it a catch, some call it a quick release. I'm not sure what to call it, but at least this fish went ahead and swam back in the water. There he goes. So I ended up moving the other rods out of the way, because I definitely didn't know how to manage multiple rods by myself. And it didn't take long for the one rod I had been catching on to start getting some bumps. And with no true takedown and just a bunch of weird line movements, I figured I'd pick it up and check the bait anyway. And as I started reeling, I could feel movement on the line and knew I had a fish on. And after 3 days of fishing in this bay, I could kind of figure out that this might have been a white perch, just based off the minimal fighting and the lack of pulling any drag. But this was the last fish of my trip, so I was excited. Stoked to fish a new area while on vacation and also have some luck.